Hi everybody, this is Roman from Big EDM, and in this video I would like to present you and I would like to go through our latest release called Melodic Future Myths. It's quite hard to pronounce it for me. However, it's an amazing pack. It's a huge pack that contains hundreds and hundreds of super useful sounds, and as you can see, I have loaded it into my DAW, in this case FL Studio. So we'll be using FL Studio for the purpose of presentation of this sample pack. And I clicked the main folder, and here you will see how the pack is divided. It's divided into three main sections based on the genre. The first one is Downtempo, the other one is called Future Bass and Pop, aka Future Bass and Future Pop, and the last one is called Melodic Dubstep. Each of these files are then divided into another pieces, another subfolders that already contain the final sounds, midis, presets, etc. So let's go through some sounds. Here is the downtempo section, and here you can see what all is included, from Ambient Melody Loops to Foley FX to Percussion loops and even warm bass loops. There are a lot of extremely interesting sounds inside. So let's start with the Ambient Melody Loops. All of the sounds are key labeled as well as tempo labeled, so you won't have any difficulties finding the correct sound for your track or building the correct track around the samples that you will pick. In the Chord Loops section, you will find the audio files as well as the MIDI files, which will just make your life much easier. This one is amazing. Let me drag and drop it to the playlist. And the tempo is already set to 90 BPM. Sounds quite nice, right? There are a lot of other chord progressions as well. That's about it. Let's take a look at some drum hits. Maybe even snares. Wow. Again, this one is my favorite. How about going to the drum loops section? A lot of acoustic feeling in these drum loops. Here are some Foley FX that are just necessary in case you are creating a downtempo track. And so on. And let's take a look at some one-shots, in this case synth shots or simply some instruments. I believe that you will find a lot of ways of how you can use these sounds. Percussion loops, and finally some bass loops. and so on. So I will just quickly drag and drop some of the sounds here, and I will create a quick melody progression using the sounds, so we can see the pack in action. And again, this is only 1/3, and actually this downtempo folder is the smallest one, so it's even less than 1/3 of the whole pack. So what we got here is a C minor chord progression, 90 BPM. So I believe that we might be able to find some corresponding one, bass loop corresponding with the chord progression right here. Let's check this out. How about this one? Cool. Now let's go to the drum loop section, and we don't have any 90 BPM drum loops here, which is absolutely okay. I will go to some similar tempo, in this case 88 BPM, and I will just easily stretch the loop to the tempo so it just fits the 4 bars length. And we can even include some percussion loops. Or in case you are not a fan of drum loops, you can create your own drum loops just by using these one-shot drum samples right here. This one sounds really cool, so I will use this one as the kick. Oh, which one? It was this one, my favorite snare, right? However, I will still use at least the percussion loop as my top loop. Obviously, you should also sidechain the sounds, at least the bass one, but for the purpose of presentation of the sample pack, we don't need to do it right now. Oh, let's double the tempo. You know, it's called organic because by using the sounds inside, for example, this amazing percussion loop, you will get this organic feeling out into your mixes. I mean, this live type of sound, not those digital sounds out there, but you just get this extra feeling just by using a simple drum loop as is this one. Like this. Obviously, you can layer much more sounds. You can add some ambient melody loops, or you can even use the chords of this chord loop. Yeah, sorry, you can use the MIDI loop. You can get the melody and connect it with some presets that I will show you in some of these other sections. But that's it for the downtempo, and now let's take a look at the future bass and pop. Okay, here we are at the future bass and pop section, and again we will go through some sounds. As I mentioned in the previous part, this section contains much more sounds than the downtempo one. So there are how many 23 plus 30 sounds. That makes 53 sounds in the claps and snares section. Many extremely useful sounds. I will leave this construction kits part for later. Here we have some drum loops divided into future bass and future pop drum loops. How about some fills? Fills are really important in case of creating future bass tracks. That is why we have included them as well. Here are some FX sounds. This one is dope. Go to the kicks section. Future pop kicks. Here we have melody and bass loops, so let's start with the future bass melody loops. It's a bass, so how about chords? Okay, this one sounds really cool, so let's try it in the playlist. Obviously these three sections, these three loops belong together. There's even brass included later. That's just great, right? What we've got here. Here we have another subfolders divided into basses, chords, and leads. Some chord lead, some guitar lead here, and let's take a quick look at percussions as well. Here we have presets. I will also keep these for later. Some great synth shots, and finally top loops. Cool, so instead of creating sound by layering the sounds, let's take a look at some of these construction kits. For example, this construction kit 2, which sounds like this. I will drag and drop it to the playlist, that will be quicker. That's more chill. Let's take a look at some different example. Oh, this one could be nice. So as you can hear, this particular construction kit is based on some really cool vocal chops in the drop. So here we can just drag and drop the vocal chops into your playlist like this. And you can use only these two parts or one of it if you want. You can even get the midis for the vocal chops, and here you'll find all of the presets used inside the construction kits. All of the stems are, or not all of the stems, but the main melody stems are delivered in dry versions and in non-sidechain versions as well, just to make to give you the the biggest palette of usage for the construction kit. So that's about construction kits folder. And finally, let's take a look at presets. I have to load actually some plugins here, but there are quite a lot of presets included for Silent One and Serum, and we will go through some of them in just a few seconds. So let me load the plugins here. Cool, we have Serum loaded. I will probably just go for Serum because, in my opinion, that is the section where you will hear what kind of presets are included. So let's start with some bases. Fat 808 maybe. That one you can use instead of your 808, or just to replace any bass synth that you are using. Get Low, check this out. Same here, quite fat and warm bass synth, some chord progressions. How about Transformer? I'm not able to play the keys at the same time. This one is really cool. What we've got here. How about some lead synths? This one is cool. Nice, marimba plucks, come on. Now you need these, right, in your track. And so on and so on. So that's about the future bass and pop section, and finally let's take a look at the melodic dubstep part of the sample pack. I guess this time we will just start with the construction kits, because I believe that these are the most powerful construction kits ever created. I mean, take a look at the sounds that we have included. I will start with let's say with the kit number 2, and here we go in 3, 2, 1. Dope, right? Let's take a look at the kit number 4. I just love these. We have provided all of the stems in dry and wet, and some of them even in wet sidechain and wet non-sidechain versions. All midis and presets are provided as well. There are 6 construction kits included in the Melodic Dubstep section. There are 5 construction kits included in the future bass and pop section. That makes 11 amazing construction kits. since dubstep is based a lot on quality drum samples, we have decided to include many of these to the pack. Now let's take a look at some snares. A lot of these bad guys in there. Cymbals and percussion. And so on. Next, oh sorry about that. Next we will take a look at FX sounds. Melodies, again, all midis or melody loops are provided. I mean, we could spend hours just by going through the sounds inside. Cool, and presets are right here. Here are a lot of Serum presets, right? And here are massive presets. Again, we will go through the Serum presets only. Let's go one octave lower, even lower. That's too low. Dirty wow bass. A lot of phaser. Maybe some leads. What we've got here, dirty lead. Ah, this one is amazing. Nice little lead. Let's take a look at this one. Weird lead. And finally some cool plucks. Sadly, I'm not a piano player, so I only can play single notes. These are kind of 8-bit plucks. That's so sounding like square. And finally, what we will pick at the end. Weird square, not let's go for very soft pluck. For breakdowns. Cool, right? So I'm not exactly sure about the exact number. You'll be able to find the exact number of all of the sounds in the description. That was about the sample pack. I really hope that you are excited about it, at least as much as we do, because we really put a lot of extremely quality and interesting sounds in the sample pack. I believe that whether you are creating future bass or dubstep or even EDM or trap or whatever, you will find this pack very useful, because those sounds inside are just great, as I just presented to you. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to see you all soon. Have a great day. Goodbye.